We are back from our Christmas in July comedy cruise on the Carnival Encounter. We're going to bring it all together and tell you what we thought about each different aspect of the cruise.
I got what you want. Honey, I got what you need. Honey, I got what you want.
Hi, we are Rob and Ali sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel. So what did we really think of this Carnival Encounter 3-night themed cruise that was both a comedy cruise and a Grinchmas in July?
Yeah, it was a bit of a hybrid, wasn't it?
Yeah, was it all too much for you?
When we booked this cruise, it was booked through P&O when P&O was still around. It was booked as a comedy cruise. And then, of course, P&O closed down and Carnival took over the ships and they took over all the sailings. And because they traditionally do the Grinchmas in July, they added the Grinchmas in July to this cruise. So it ended up being a Grinchmas in July comedy cruise.
Comedy cruise.
Whether there'll be another one, who knows? This might be a one-off.
Well, I hope there's going to be another one. Maybe that answers the question of what did we really think of it. They kind of threw all the carnival kind of themes in there as well, didn't they?
They did. There was a lot of theme nights. There's a lot of things.
going
Is that what we're going
on.
to talk about first?
No, let's start.
Okay.
Let's
What
start.
are we going to start with?
From the very beginning,
Okay.
from Embarcation. So we got on at Brisbane International Terminal, and it was a breeze. It was absolutely, honestly, so hassle-free and so quick. And I don't think we just landed lucky on the time. It just seemed to flow. It was so well organised. Really
Well, I think
good.
most of them, because they actually changed the timing. And by the time we got there, I think everybody was almost on. And look, I don't think that would have made any difference anyway, because the way they have the operation set up at Brisbane, it is so slick, so quick.
It was really
Straight
good.
up.
Now, and the other thing about Embarcation was when you get on the ship, you were really pleasantly greeted. We have heard people say that when you go on board a ship, sometimes it's a little bit of an anticlimax. You go on and there's no music, there's nobody there to greet you. They did. They had people going, "Hi, welcome aboard," come and have a few photographs taken. All the Christmas music was going on. And you embarked on, I think it's level 6, where the customer service was.
Guest
services.
services, yeah.
So it was in the atrium, so you got the full effect of all the Christmas trees, the Christmas decorations, and the music playing. So it was this wonderful welcome when we got on, and that really kick-started the whole weekend.
Well, we were fortunate. Well, I say fortunate. We went on the Carnival Encounter over New Year, and the Christmas decorations were still up, and these were equally as good. It wasn't just a cheapened version
No.
because it was a Grinchmas in July. They had the same Christmas decorations up, and it was fantastic, wasn't it? The trees, the decorations, and everything. In fact, I think we did the long lunch, but we didn't do the long lunch. We saw the long lunch. I think that was even better.
Oh,
than the New Year.
that was better than what I've ever seen with the giant nutcrackers in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
restaurant. Beautiful. So first up, the greeting that we got when we arrived on board, and the greeting from our cabin attendant who welcomed us into our room, checked that we had all our cases.
Who we've met before.
Yes.
Yuri's looked after us before, and hey, if you're watching, Yuri, hi. We recognised each other straight away. It was like being an old friend, I
It
guess, really.
But that really set the tone for the service that we had throughout the whole cruise, throughout that long weekend cruise. All the staff, everybody, from the waiters, that's it for you, cabin attendants, people behind the bars, everybody had been, I guess, trained in the Carnival way. That's not to put down anybody from the P&O crew, but they certainly were well-trained, professional, efficient, and it was noticeable, wasn't it? From the
It
moment
was.
you got on,
It was, and I think
they kept that standard throughout.
yeah, and I think that there is a difference between the Carnival way and the old P&O way, and I think we've been on a couple of cruises since Carnival took over the ships, and a lot of the staff remained. And I think there might have been a little bit of confusion, a little bit of adjustment. But certainly by the time we went on now in July, which is 4 months after the transition, it definitely had settled down, and they were the staff were definitely a lot more comfortable. Yeah.
So if you've seen videos of the Carnival Encounter when it first changed over, and you see people perhaps criticising, bemoaning some of the staff, and they didn't quite know what they were doing or giving you conflicting things, that is not the case now. They are well embedded
Definitely settled down, yeah.
into what they're doing. Yeah, professional and really friendly. So let's talk about everybody's favourite, food. Food. There is plenty of it, and it is really, really good. So I have to put my glasses on for this.
A lot of it is still the same as from the restaurants are certainly still the same as when it was the P&O, and we've got and this is what I actually like about the ship at the moment, is that there are those three main dining rooms with different themes. You've got the Asian, you've got the waterfront, which is the Australian, and you've also got the
Angelo's is the
Italian. Thank you.
And Dragon Lady is the Asian fusion. Right. So they've kept it so that each of the three included restaurants gives you that different style of dining, whereas traditionally on Carnival ships, different restaurants, they will just keep the menu the same throughout. They still have the pantry, which offers you your kind of buffet style, but even on there they have different styles of food. So you've got an Indian station, you'll have a kind of an Italian station for pastas every day,
the roast,
Mexican. There's a Mexican, there's a soup and salad bar,
there's the rolls, sandwiches,
So that they've got all that there, all in there's kind of two sides to that. On either side, it has the same stations, but you can sit either side of the ship and make that choice. They also then have the optional extra kind of restaurants, specialty restaurants, and little bars. So you've got Luke's Burgers, Luke's Burgers. What's to the side? It's got the pizzas.
The pizzeria,
Pizzeria. They're upstairs on the deck, on the Lido deck.
They're the takeaway options up on the Lido deck. But in terms of restaurants, though, also there's Luke's, which is Luke Mangan, the celebrity chef. Luke Mangan's restaurant, Luke's Bar and Grill, and there's also Trattoria, which does a selection of all sorts of meals now.
So really, really good good quality. In the pantry, what we found, so that's where we would have our lunch. I think we had breakfast one day there as well. That was a really good selection, and everything was kept nice and hot. And although it was busy, I mean, it was busy because it was a Grinchmas in July. It was a very busy cruise, absolutely full, and lots of children. You didn't struggle. You didn't have to queue up anywhere, did you? The tables were turned over really quickly, so we never struggled to find anywhere to sit. And it was really, they were cleaned. They were properly cleaned when they turned those tables down. That was noticeable,
actually, because, yes.
Big difference. That was
very
quick,
noticeable.
and they properly, sprayed them and wiped them down. Yeah, it was nice, and the floors were kept clean. So that was definitely noticeable. In the restaurants, we actually went for specialty restaurants this time, didn't we?
It was a little bit different, wasn't it?
We had one night was the Christmas theme, and then 2 nights we went specialty.
That's right. The package at the moment is, if you pre-book in either Luke's or Trattoria, you pay $40 and you get an extra $10 worth of credit towards, and you can have whatever you want on the menu. So for your $40, you basically get $50 worth of food. If you use those on the first night, or if you book on the first night in either Trattoria or Luke's, you also get a free glass of wine, which is $14, $15 worth. So if you take that
generous
off your 40,
glass, isn't it?
So essentially you're paying $25 for $50 worth of food.
Yes.
And that's good value. And that is one of the reasons why we now try to do that certainly on Embarcation Day. We had booked Luke's for Embarcation Day, but when we got on board, we found out that it was the Grinchmas Christmas dinner. Now there was the same menu in all of the restaurants, so it didn't matter which restaurant you ate in. So we had to swap the Luke's for day 2 and day 3. Luke's for day 2 because we booked Trattoria for day 3, and we had the Grinchmas in July dinner on the first night.
And we went to the waterfront.
No, we went to Dragon Lady.
Oh yes, that's right. We went to Dragon Lady. Love that restaurant. Actually, I like all the restaurants. They're really nice. I think Dragon Lady has a quieter, softer ambience. It's not dark. It used to be quite dark. But it's more subdued noise wise. The waterfront and Angelo's can get a little bit noisy for me. It's not too bad, but can get a little bit clangy. but it was a beautiful kind of Christmassy meal.
It was. There was great choice. You could either have some turkey, you could have some ham, you could.
We didn't expect that at all as part of this, did we? We didn't think that was going to happen. So that was really, really good on that food side of things. And then we had then for our specialty dining then in Luke's. Excellent, loved that. And the only thing that we found with that was it was a little bit slow. So we're going to tell them next time if we do that again that we want to leave by a certain
set the
time.
expectations, absolutely, and they're fine with that. It's just
Yeah.
we probably just it's and partly our fault because
That was-
we didn't sort of set those expectations about what we needed to do.
Yeah. So food was fabulous. Another little point just to add though was you can get room service at Extra. We did try to get room service one night, but they said there was about a 40-minute wait. Now it was quite late because we'd been to the nightclub by then, so it was getting on for about 2:00. I thought there's no way we're going. Was it nearly
we
two?
went-
No, it was about 1:45.
We went to the nightclub for research purposes only. I have to say.
I think it was getting on for about 1:45, and I thought we're never going to be awake at that time. So we didn't want a full pizza, but we went up to the pizza and the burger bar upstairs on the Lido deck. I have to say that was humming, wasn't it?
It was a lot of people up
Still
there,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of people up there. Really nice atmosphere up there. It's a pity they don't keep one of the bars open because I think that would absolutely
They do the nightclub.
yeah, but you'd really feel you were on one of those kind of resort holidays like Fiji or Bali or something, wouldn't you? If that had a little bar there. Anyway, so there's lots of people milling around. We just went up to the burger bar and we just got hot chips. I think they were $2.50 and you got this great portion of really hot chips. So just want to bear in mind that you don't have to spend a load of money or get a lot of food. Get some chips if you're a little bit peckish. The room service was available, just a little bit of a long wait for us.
Now, I just want to throw in just to close off the food bit is that we've seen a lot of comments about people sort of like saying the food's not great on the Carnival ships and on the Carnival Encounter. It's not Michelin star food. You're not going to get Michelin star food. It is, well, certainly in the waterfront, it's like wholesome food, like pie and that sort of thing. But we have not found a problem with any of the food on the Carnival Encounter and previous cruises, but certainly not on this cruise as well.
Yeah.
It's an expectation thing, I suppose. If you're going expecting Cunard food, you're probably going to be disappointed. We didn't have an issue.
We didn't. Everything did seem to be freshly made. Plenty of salads, plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, if that's your thing. And then, as Robert said, like wholesome, like pastas and curries and things like that. I think probably for me, the disappointment would be a little bit on the desserts. But there was always homemade cookies and lots of cakes. Yeah, you won't. I don't think you'll be disappointed on the food. There's plenty to choose from. So we've done that one. Then we were saying about the daytime. So we had the daytime activities. So they had the standard quizzes. The quizzes on Carnival, we're not a huge lover of them.
Carnival
They're a bit
do
boring.
tend to have a lot of trivia. They sort of, I think there's like 6 or 7 in a day, 6 or 7 trivias, and that's fine. That's the different themed trivias, and you can go to the trivias, but they do seem to be at the expense of other activities. For example, there's no longer the shuffleboard challenge that they used to have on P&O, but they've got a shuffleboard court there. I don't know what they're called, but shuffleboard court. They could probably quite easily have done one of
Yes,
those.
yeah.
They still do the lawn bowls challenge.
Lawn bowls, very,
They still
very
do.
popular.
They don't do the golf challenge anymore, the putting, and there's
I don't think they do the hoops either. but
the basketball challenge. No,
Yeah.
none of that either. They don't do the activity classes like the crafts and things like they used to. And I don't want this to be a comparison between P&O and Carnival, but you miss those
just
things.
generally on other ships.
there are other things that could be done
yeah.
that used to be done on that ship, but aren't anymore.
That aren't,
Yeah.
and they do have them on a lot of the other ships. Those kind of daytime
And
activities.
and
that
the
are
trivia
missing.
does seem to have taken over.
However, that said, because it was Grinchmas in July, they did add some extra quizzes in this time, and they did some kids.
Oh, and some other activities as well. There was
Some
there
extra
was the deck
activities.
activities that they did.
Around the pool, they did some sort of fun family things that they did there. I can't remember what they were, but it was like Christmassy, and then they did the jumpers, the ugly jumper competition. I
That's
think
right.
was on.
Well, that was I think that was one
night.
evening. Yeah.
That was on one of the evenings. They have the cinema. They had the cinema up
Outdoor cinema, love it. That's about 3 times a day. Sorry, I jumped in there, but I do
No,
love
that
it.
was good.
And there's a late night one as well. And now they also have in the bar, they've got a popcorn machine.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you can go and get popcorn, lay on your lounger, watch the movie. Yeah, fantastic. Love that. Well done. That was
That
great.
was really good. And I think, and they did have a kind of the health and beauty sort of spa things that are free. So you get kind of half an hour, 3/4 of an hour sort of talks on how to look 100 years
Yeah, the
younger,
well-being lectures.
how to
What do they call them? Enhancement. don't they?
enhancement lifestyle. So they do have those that are on just to give you a little bit of break. And they do have 3 really good, decent sized pools that are well stocked with your loungers and chairs. And we noticed that actually there seem to be a lot more loungers, or certainly they put the loungers out.
Well, it's 4 if you include Oasis.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, there was the Oasis, which is at adult only. That's fabulous. Pool is freezing, but people did seem to get in that one. You've got your main Lido deck. That's really good. There's pool and 2
And the family
two
pool, yeah,
spa
yeah.
pools. That's a really good one. And then there's the family pool that's inside. And they also have, for the kids ones, they have the lifeguards on as well.
Yeah.
And they're on like all day. They stand there and watch the kids, and
I was
there's
gonna
the
say,
little life jackets.
If you're in Barron Beach, you get a pool in there as well.
Oh, of course, yes. That's the we didn't even go anywhere near there. A little nose over the top from deck 15. See, it's like looking over the fence to see how the other half live. It was empty. There's nobody in there when we looked. So that kind of is mainly your daytime activities. Oh, they did do the carnival. What's the raising the money for the kids?
Oh, the Congo for Kids.
Congo for Kids.
Yeah.
They did do that one as well.
Last time we were on that ship, they did it up in the altitude, which is a bit of a strange place to do the Congo for Kids, but they did it back on the Lido deck this time, which is a lot more sensible.
Yes, yeah. And in the daytime, we missed out on the food bit, was they had a special Grinchmas meal, didn't they? In the Angelo's.
Oh, the long lunch. There
Yeah.
was a long lunch. I think that excuse me, that was an extra charge. It looked beautiful in Angelo's. They decked it out, the music playing. It was a fantastic menu. We didn't do it this time, but I think if we go again, then we may have a look at the Grinchmas long lunch.
There was definitely a lot of people who must have done that before, because they came all dressed up. They came really dressed up Christmassy. That looked fabulous. And then the kids clubs, I think it's just worth mentioning. They do have the kids clubs. Obviously, we don't know what goes on in the kids clubs or what they're like. However, what we can say is this was a family kind of Christmassy weekend away. They said, I can't remember how many children they said, but it was about a third
There
of
was
the
a
people
lot.
on there were
There was
children.
a lot.
There wasn't a peep. They were so well behaved. They'd locked them all in a dungeon, and the adults decided to have fun, or the kids clubs kept them active, or just Aussie parents, you are looking after your families and your kids, and they are so well behaved.
It was
But
a very well behaved.
honestly,
cruise.
yeah,
Very well behaved.
you wouldn't, and we're just like 2 adults on our own, and quite often you kind of think you don't want to be surrounded by noisy, naughty, mardy children. Not a bar of it. They were fabulous. So we're thinking that the kids clubs must be great. The shops were really, really well stocked. Now, I know you don't go on a short weekend away to go shopping, but people do. People were milling around. It just breaks up the day. If you've had too much to sun and you've eaten, quite often people will just go having a little nose around and buy little trinkets.
We did notice that there were a lot of things in the cherry on top. A lot of good things that if you could take home for souvenir for your kids, for yourself, just.
Yeah, a little
it was good.
extras.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really good.
Yeah.
There is duty free there, but of course that's not on because you're only on a 3-day out. You don't get the chance for that. The casino is just been revamped.
Oh,
It's
a lot of money spent on that casino.
It is top notch. And you know what's really nice about it? So they've got fabulous new tables, really comfortable seating. It's really well designed. So there's lots of little places that you can go and find your own little machine that you like.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like some of them are like just a big giant car park. I don't know. Some of the casinos don't have a nice feel. This has got beautiful lighting, nice ambience, and again, really friendly, attentive staff. It's a nice place to be, and not too kind of too noisy. There are some that are like really, really noisy. So it's got the excitement of a casino without
It was
kind of being
yeah,
like a
very
fun
nice.
fair. Some of them sound like a fun fair on speed or something, don't they? So, but yeah, that was really lovely in there. The theatre. Now, so the theatre, the main theatre, they don't have kind of the normal main show, or they didn't have the main sort of shows on. There's a lot of the comedy.
I think
which is
musicology
excellent.
was on.
So musicology, which is like kind of a semi sort of show.
They did have on one afternoon, they had the Holiday show. I had no idea what that was about. We had no idea. I did pop down and have a look. I thought, oh, that's going to be for the kids and one thing. It was a full-on production show. They had the cast there, the singing. They got the kids up on stage from the kids club, and they did a couple of songs as well. There was lots of people in the theatre. It was like I said, it was a full
Cheesy fun.
production show.
That's what it was.
It was
Cheesy fun.
great.
Yeah.
I actually really, I just
Yeah.
basically went down there to take a little bit of footage for the video, and I stayed for the whole show.
Yeah.
It was so good. Yeah, that was
That
great.
was good. But the comedy, so they did a lot of the comedy shows in the theatre as well. So they had PG comedy and then the kind of the R-rated, the over 18s. Really, really good quality comedy. Excellent. And then in
The gala show, the
later
comedy
on,
gala, of course, we love that when they get
Fantastic.
all of the comedians up and they all do a little like 5-10 minutes each. Yeah, that was good.
yeah, really, really good. I know it can be quite subjective for comedy, but you know, good all round kind of, I want to say wholesome comedy, but you know,
Not the offensive. A few years back, you used to the 18 used to be. It was quite crude and offensive, and they've sort of moved away from that.
Yeah.
They've moved away from, and it's still adult. Don't get me wrong, it's still adult humour. It's just
good material.
It's more humour than adult.
Yes, yeah. And so that was really, really good. They still have the Blanc de Blanc show. We haven't been to that for a while. We have been. That's you pay a little bit extra for that. I think they have 2 shows. So that's still very well frequented.
Yeah, people
Still
still
very
love
popular.
that. It's still very popular, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
But there was plenty going on otherwise. And then so the bars, there is such a selection of bars. We venue hop. So some people like to find a bar that they like the Encounter Hotel, and they'll stay, and the acts and the entertainment changes as you stay in your kind of favorite place. We don't. We like to go from place to place and venue to venue. We found all of them excellent, and we didn't find that we had to queue up at any of the bars.
We did.
You have to queue up for a little bit, but not for any length of time.
We didn't go in Bonded Store this time, but I did poke my head in a couple of times, and it was very busy. It's still a popular bar.
Yes.
Encounter Hotel used to be quite bad for getting drinks. You used to have to queue up, and it would be quite a few deep. Now this time, it wasn't. There was no problem getting
It's
drinks.
very limited kind of bar service to your table. It's there, it's available. Most
Yeah.
people just go up and just.
And they
go.
did seem to have more waiters behind the bar on
Yeah.
the Encounter Hotel than maybe they've had previously as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Really great selection of drinks. Weren't exorbitantly priced. The cocktails, they'll do the proper cocktails. Some of them have just got the mixes in them, like they're already pre-mixed, and they put them in
a
there.
little bit of sort of like fancier cherries, and they might be
Yes.
quite nice. But
They do have beers on tap, and the mixes they have in their drinks are out of cans. I think are they Coca-Cola?
they are Coke. You may have seen in something. John Heald has been going on about sort of the Carnival fleet moving from Pepsi to Coke. We're already Coke. We're ahead of the game. We're already
Yes.
Coke in Australia.
Yeah, yeah. And just one little tip when I'm saying that, so we like to go from bar to bar and move along. So I have a bottle of wine, and I just get an ice bucket for that. And we just move along with that. So it saves me queuing for anything, which is just a little tip for you there. Now the other venues for the evening, they have the piano bar. That used to be the Blue Room, but the piano bar, that is a beautiful room, really lovely decor, and it's really been brought together with the acts. So we actually saw somebody called Cassidy Ray. She was fabulous and entertained everybody. Really brought the crowd.
I've
together.
actually seen social media posts about that since, not Cassidy Ray, but other acts that have been on
acts.
there, and the same sort of thing. People love that. When we first, or a couple of cruises ago, when we went in there and they got tables and chairs all over the dance floor, we were a little bit so, dance floor in the piano bar, and you can't dance because there's tables and chairs. And the acts were a little bit sort of they weren't the sort of acts that you'd want to get up and sing to. But this time, every night, everybody was singing, everybody was dancing. There were people in there that were really, well, we were enjoying ourselves as well, but there were people in there that were really enjoying themselves.
Yes,
And,
yeah, having a fabulous
and it was
dance.
packed. It was packed. That was a
Yeah.
great way to finish off the night. Love the piano bar. It turned into a really good bar.
It really has.
And they run it a little bit later as well because it used to close. I
That's
think.
right.
Yeah, so it's open till a little bit later.
It's
And
after midnight, I think.
I think Encounter is open till 1 every night. So
It's got an odd thing though with the Encounter. They kind of call it something like house vibes or something, aka elevator music.
yeah, the bar's open.
That
but
empties
there's
out
like-
there. Although
there's
they say it's open,
yeah.
it empties out because it's dull.
But you can still get a drink from there.
Yeah.
So that's like, if you want to just get a drink and then go and sit somewhere and just finish the night
Yes.
off, it's nice to do that, yeah.
They had
Because you don't have to go up
karaoke.
to the altitude.
Had karaoke in that bar, and the entertainment. Honestly, the entertainers are such good quality. All of the entertainers were really, really good. So you had the lollies, and then there
Yeah,
were
they
some
were
other acts, fabulous. And then moving back to the back of the ship, they have the Black Circus.
Black Circus.
That's where they then had the extra late night comedy. Now I believe on Carnival, because they always have a comedy club on Carnival.
The
even-
Punchliner comedy
Yes.
club. Punchliner comedy club. Yes.
Punchliner. So even though this was a comedy cruise and we got lots of comedy, I think when it's not a comedy cruise, you will still get some of this top quality comedy in
Yeah,
the
They do tend
Black
to have that.
Circus.
Yeah, they do tend to have that.
So and it's a beautiful lounge in there. Again, lots of lovely seating. You can have your drink. There's little tables in front of you, so everybody can see the stage, and lots of seating. And it's just nice and relaxing and good service. So that was absolutely fantastic. Now for the themes for the nights.
So the first night there was 80s rock and glow. And the second night, which was the elegant night, and then they threw in the at 8 o'clock for only about 45 minutes, was the holiday party, and that was up underneath the big screen. That was a strange. We were eating. We didn't make it to that party because that clashed with our dining that night. But that was the holiday party, and they also had, as you say, the ugly jumper party. So it was like three things in one night.
Yeah.
It was a bit
I mean, it
strange.
was fun. People joined in, but it did get a little bit confusing. So people joined in different things. They probably didn't get as much of a turnout for some of that as they would normally, because they got some of it confused and a bit ran over each other.
And then the third night, which was cruise casual, which is
Yeah.
I expected on the last night. Everybody's packed up, ready for going home.
So overall, what would you say about this then? So
Fabulous! I had a great time. Loved
Yeah.
it. Definitely be back again. We will definitely be looking at the Grinchmas cruises for next year, because it was just so different. And so we love our theme cruises. We do love the theme cruises. And unfortunately, Carnival are not carrying over the theme cruises that P&O used to have. So any excuse, and the Grinchmas is
Yeah.
a great excuse.
on the shorter weekends away, Australians love it. And it's a great excuse to get your family and friends together and celebrate things like 21sts, anniversaries.
Oh yeah,
Big
the weekends are great.
birthdays.
They're great.
And so you need a theme quite often to just bring that out, add just something a little bit extra. That's one of the things we loved about this cruise was the complete mix of kind of the families, older people, just from one extreme to another of generations. Just makes it more fun, more inclusive, nice crowd of people.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. We didn't try the thing breakfast, and we didn't try the long lunch, which we will maybe do next time. But definitely, what about you?
I really, really liked it. For this particular cruise, we've just loved it because it gave us everything. I have to say, selfishly, it gave us everything.
It did.
And the food has got it better, the service has got better, and the cleanliness has got better. You can't change the ship. The ship is what it is. It's a beautifully well-maintained ship. Never going to be, is it? The QE2. It just isn't, and you can't make it any bigger, and you can't put you can't put go-karts and laser tag in there. It just isn't big enough. So it's never going to be one of those ships. But what it does give you is excellent value for money, friendly service, and yeah, it gave us everything on
It did.
that particular
It did.
cruise.
Absolutely. So there's our review. We had a fabulous time. If you go on one, hopefully you will have an equally good time. And if you were on that cruise, hopefully you did too.
Oh, yeah. And if you came up and said hi to us, thank you so much. It makes it all the more special for us when people say hello, and you give us your feedback like that.
Absolutely. So if you've liked this video, please hit like, please hit subscribe, hit the notification button if you want to see more of our videos. We will see you in the next one, or maybe on board. Who knows? If you see us, come up and say hello.
You take care, everybody, and hope to see you soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Oh, honey, I got what you want.